Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Monday, December 8th, 2014, around 5:26 p.m. in Bellicum, Massachusetts. It was real cold out today and kind of very cloudy. Highs was only about 25 today, and it feels like we're going to get a heavy-duty snowstorm, but we're going to get a heavy-duty rainstorm, but there's winter weather advisory. In the Merrimack Valley area, could be an inch of snow, then a trace of ice, and then change over to rain. Some news to report. The Ottawa Senators have fired their head coach Paul McLean. The Senators are 500 team right now, and that's not good. They started off pretty a surprising start, but they've fallen back into the pack of the Eastern Conference race. And also, the Chicago Cubs have signed pitcher Jason Hamels to a 2-year contract worth $18 million. The Cleveland Indians acquired outfielder Brandon Moss from the Oakland A's, and that's about it on that. Except one more thing for baseball: none of the 10 players on the Golden Era ballot for the Baseball Hall of Fame got voted in by the Hall of Fame committee, so that they got shut out. And that's about it on that. And my next subject is about one of the most infamous angles in WCW history. It happened in 1990, from September to December 1990. It was the infamous Sting versus the Black Scorpion angle. Sting was the WCW champion at the time, and the booking committee of WCW had a masked wrestler called the Black Scorpion, and there was rumors it was somebody from Sting's past. And when people heard from Sting's past, they thought it was the Ultimate Warrior from WWE, but the Ultimate Warrior was the WWE champion at the time, so he was never jumping ship, because the Ultimate Warrior and Sting were tag team partners in a tag team called the Blade Runners in 1986 in the Mid-South/UWF area. So the Ultimate Warrior was jumping ship to WCW as well as WWE champion. There was also another rumor that the Black Scorpion could have been Eddie Gilbert, who managed Sting back in the 80s as well, but Eddie went to Memphis, the USWA, around this time as well. He was in WCW earlier in 1990, but that would have been an excellent choice for it to be the Black Scorpion. But the Black Scorpion angle was played out so long that it got ridiculous. It started at the Clash of Champions in September 1990. Well, Sting made a WCW title defense against the Black Scorpion, and Sting beat the Black Scorpion easily, and he tried to take off the mask, but there was another mask underneath there, and another Black Scorpion comes out. The first Black Scorpion was played by Al Perez, who was a regional wrestling star, but Al Perez wasn't going to be the final Black Scorpion, and the other Black Scorpion who was being played was, like, I think a preliminary wrestler and stuff. And this feud continued, Sting versus Black Scorpion, through many more weeks and stuff. And then the Black Scorpion talks and stuff like that, and it had a distorted voice. The distorted voice doing this distorted voice was Ole Anderson, who was a booker in WCW at the time. He did that voice for several weeks of the Black Scorpion, but WCW fired Ole Anderson, I think around November 1990 and stuff like that. Then the Black Scorpion interfered in the Sting versus Sid Vicious WCW title match at Halloween Havoc 1990 and stuff like that. And then the Black Scorpion starts doing some tricks into the crowd. I think the Clash of Champions in November, he takes a fan out of the stands of the arena, and he turns that fan into like a tiger. It's pretty amazing. And also there was more magic tricks, more like videos and stuff like that, and they were having a house show feud between the Sting and the Black Scorpion, and several of the Black Scorpions who were under the mask at the house shows facing off against Sting were Wild Bill Irwin and the Angel of Death, played by Dave Shelton, who was rumored to be who was going to be unmasked at the Black Scorpion at the end. But then this angle continued to get ridiculous and stuff with all the antics and stuff, and also the poor reviews of Sting versus the Black Scorpion at house shows in WCW. It was not drawing at all. It was horrible. The house show attendance for the Sting versus Black Scorpion feud was tremendously a flop. And then the main event at Starrcade 1990 was booked. Sting versus the Black Scorpion. If Sting beat the Black Scorpion would have to get unmasked, and his identity would have to be revealed and stuff like that. And they were still hyping at it. It was from somebody from Sting's past. This angle was getting ridiculously awful, because the most logical choices of playing from Sting's past were not available and stuff like that. So the booking committee of WCW had to decide who was going to play the masked Black Scorpion to get unmasked, and there were two choices. They said Nature Boy Ric Flair and Barry Windham. They asked Barry Windham first. He refused to do it because he did not want to play the Black Scorpion, and besides, in 1990, Barry Windham was not doing anything of importance in WCW. He came back as a member of the Horsemen, but he was basically useless. He wasn't in the best of shape, and he had an awful 1990 in the ring. And WCW asked Ric Flair to play the Black Scorpion. He refused at first, but he said he and Sting were on and off feuding, and he says, I'll do that, and I'll play the Black Scorpion to take one for WCW as the team. And there was also rumors in some of the dirt sheets that were called the wrestling newsletters, said there were rumors that the Black Scorpion was going to be played by Bobby the Brain Heenan and get unmasked at Starrcade 1990, because there was rumors that Bobby the Brain Heenan was at WCW headquarters in October of 1990 and stuff, trying to come to WCW. Bobby the Brain Heenan was a manager and the announcer for Wrestling Challenge back in around that time as well. And I think maybe he was just going to WCW to use leverage to get a new contract for WWE, because I think I heard something, his contract was up at the end of 1990, but I think that was probably just for leverage to get a better deal for the WWE. And the stage was set for the match at Starrcade 90 between Black Scorpion and Sting for the WCW World title, and it was held inside a steel cage. The special guest referee was legendary Midwest wrestling legend Dick the Bruiser. Sting beats the Black Scorpion, and then the Black Scorpion unmasked, and it's Ric Flair. This was a worst payoff you could imagine for an important angle, a top angle for WCW, and they just blew it. They blew it and stuff like that. This was kind of embarrassing for Ric Flair to be unmasked as the Black Scorpion, even though he was never meant to be the Black Scorpion at the end. I think WCW had no choice. And Flair was rewarded for playing the Black Scorpion angle to be unmasked as the Black Scorpion. He got back the WCW title a few weeks later by beating Sting at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey in January 11th, 1991. So Flair got probably a reward getting back the WCW World title, because Sting flopped as WCW champion his first title reign. I think many fans just didn't really buy Sting as champion at that time, and they thought that Sting was better chasing the WCW World Championship than being the WCW champion, period. More of the story, this was the worst angle in WCW history and probably one of the worst angles of all time. WCW sometimes do not have a clue for long-term booking plans, and because the committee was run by a lot of suits and not too many wrestling personnel and wrestling guys. That's what all I have to say on this angle. I'll be back later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers, for my third and final video blog of the night, which will be about Fox Sports #1 college football play-by-play announcer Gus Johnson. See you later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.